Healing, I need healing. Let's get into it. I miss y'all. I had got a lot of feedbacks on my last video, and I was happy. I was, and to see that the world actually needs someone to step out and do it. I'm doing it because this is what God called me to do, and if it wasn't for me being obedient and stuff, I probably wouldn't have y'all out here doing it, But it actually take courage, just to do it, and I'm happy to do it. So today's topic is episode 4. Age has no limit, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, it's healing has no age limit. I'm going too fast. Sometimes we ask ourselves why healing matters from childhood to adulthood. Healing matters because when we're children, we tend to go through life and still be stuck on what hurt us from a child, to where that anger is built up, and we'll tend to use it, and we start teaching our kids that trait. Shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. I want y'all to ask yourself, what does healing mean? Like, be honest with yourself. Really ask yourself, what does healing mean? I had to sit and ask myself, what does healing mean? To me, healing means when you healed from your trauma and you can look back and say, I came from this place, but I'm here today. I came from over there, but I'm here today. Even apologizing to people, you have to learn, because we grew up in a world to where we don't want to apologize. We feel like that's pride. We feel like we little dogs when it comes to apologizing. No, when you apologize, it's for yourself. You won't have that burden on you, feeling heavy. You won't. Also, healing matters every stage of pain. Healing matters with every pain. It does not disappear. Over time, it goes into angry. Over time, it goes to anxious. Over time, it goes to character flaws. Over time, it goes into depression. Over time, it goes into loneliness. And we sit there and we wondering, hey, Kiki, we sit there and we wondering, like, why am I like this? Look back onto your childhood and see, why are you like this as an adult? Look back on your childhood, Thank you. In childhood, unhealed pain can come from neglect, abuse, rejection, bullying, silence. Children don't seem to have the words to explain how they are or how they feel. And they settle that pain deep down inside, and it's sharpening them. You know how they say when we're around people and it sharpens us like iron? Pain does that to kids. It sharpens them to where they hold that pain down, and they don't see themselves. They don't see themselves how the world see them. So they tend to close it off, And that's what we did. For us to be trying to heal now, as a child, we was like that. Even if we got abused, even if we got neglected, if our parents pushed us off, a lot. So don't start with our kids, heal. So our kids can know it's okay to heal. It's okay to talk to somebody. And then 2, I want you, to ask yourself, or even write in your journal or something, what child trauma do you have? What healing do you need to take place from? What should you heal from? We tend to sit back and not even recognize we hurt. But in reality, we are. We sit there and think, oh, well, we were children when that happened. I'm not hurt. You are. You still bothered about it, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be here speaking about it. You wouldn't. So I asked myself my childhood. Trauma. What was my childhood trauma? And a lot of people going to sit here and they're going to be like, well, no. But to be honest, it was my mother. My mother neglected me. My father neglected me. you know, and people tend to be like, well, how did your mother neglected you when she passed? My mother was selfish. It was plenty of reason my mama could have took that time to think about her kids, but she didn't. She left her 3 young kids for her grandmother, you know, for her mother to raise. We had our grandmother, we had our aunt. That was selfish. To this day, I look back and I have to think about stuff like, if I do this and that, my kids won't have me. So I would not leave my kids like my mother left me. My kids are here for a reason. I am their mother for a reason. So I'm going to be there every step of the way. I would not neglect my kids. They would not go up and question themselves like, why my mama didn't want me? You know, why my mama died? The questions that I had to go through life, they would not go through in life. You know, so I changed my life around just for my kids. And when I say neglect by my mother, you know, I still have pain. Like, it was yesterday. I still cry from it. I'm still numb to it. And y'all saw that on my last video that that's something I had to heal from. Even with my father. My father was selfish. He was doing things that he knew darn well that he was going to get taken for us. He didn't care as long as the money was flowing. He didn't care, you know. As long as he had a name out there for himself, he didn't care about his kids. That was selfish. And especially for him to have a son on the way. That was selfish. He didn't think that my son needed me. He didn't think that my daughter needed me. So over the time, that built up anger in me to where I was like, man, I don't want to trust nobody. I don't want to love nobody. Again, neglected. When you feel neglected, you don't want to love. You don't want to trust. Shouldn't be like that. Rejection. Sometimes family rejected me. I used to say what I did to people or why me. And I remember my grandmother, my aunts was always saying, you know that song, why me, baby? Why me? That was my favorite song growing up. They taught me that. And I had to realize, like, it's not that my family don't want me, you know, to be around. I can't be around because God have a calling on my life. God has that orban around me to where I'm out from the outsiders. I cannot be with them, you know. Another thing is too, oh, this is a hard one. You know, to this day, I don't even hang with family. So I speak to them and I carry on because they my family and I love them. But sometimes I still can't be around them. Like, I have fun when I'm with them, but it's the spirit that don't want me around them. And I'm okay with that because God said I'm the chosen one. I'm okay with that. Silence. You know, what does silence mean? To me, it's like, to me, silence means quiet, if that makes sense. Why should we be silenced? Why shouldn't we speak up? We tend to be silenced and not speak up because we're scared to hurt what a person gonna feel or what the next thing they gonna say. It shouldn't be like that. You know, talking, you know, like just talking felt like I didn't have no one. It put me alone. It put me to be lonely, depression. It made me put a closet into my heart where I closed it out so I didn't have to speak to no one about it, to where I was okay with everybody leaving. There was that silence. It hurt it to where I got grown. The silence burst, you know. But I broke them things. I'm strong now. I gave it to God. And I understand why I'm the chosen one. Some people don't understand why they're the chosen one. Some people still cry about it. And they be like, God, why? Why I don't fit in? Because you're the chosen one. And when you're the chosen one, you're God calling one. You on the alignment. And you have to learn how to align with it. Like me, this past, in 2025, I was disobedient. I'm not going to lie. I was, and February came, it shook me. It hit, for me being disobedient, it hit the best thing that was close to me. Still not listening to God. Still not going to church. Still not praying. Guess what happened in June? He hit the next thing as the baby of me hit. Still didn't get right. September came. Said, you ain't changed. got somebody else that was close to me. And I never forget, I told my friends, I said, y'all, this happening because I'm not aligning with God. I'm being disobedient. I'm not going to church like I'm supposed to. I'm not praying like I'm supposed to. I'm not going like God told me I'm supposed to. Why? Because I was ashamed about people saying, oh, here you go with that church stuff again. Oh, here you go changing again. That's what I was scared of. So in the mix of me being scared and not wanting to follow what God had me going, he said, okay, I got you. Got my oldest brother. I was like, look, Lord, I don't care no more. I'm going with you. I'm following you, because I had to realize everybody that God was hidden was under me, covered with my blood. I was keeping them in prayer. And a lot of people don't know that. When you praying for people, they might be saved because of you. But once you stop, boom, 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 it's going to get them. Once you stop obeying God. I mean, when you stop obedience, God, it's going to get you. When you start disobeying God, boom, 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 he going to take. Okay? So just imagine if I still was disobeying God. Next, it probably would have been my kids. Next, it probably would have been my husband. Did I want to take that hard? No. So look at me now. Back in church, back praying. I had to surrender myself, back to God. And that I was in church last night, and they were saying, it's this fire in me. Y'all got to heal. Y'all got to let that fire flame, baby. You got to hold it and say, I'm healed. I'm healed by the grace of God. God brought me through. And then another speaker said, but did you die? Nope. I ain't die. I made it out. Because my glory to God, he brought me out of it. So I need to praise him. I need to follow him. I need to get everybody else on board to follow him. He did it. He did it, y'all. He did it. It say, let that fire fall on me. That's what we were saying. Let that fire fall on me. That's what y'all need. You need that healing to fall on you. Let that healing heal you. I can't sing, but I'm going to get there. But yeah, we got to, even, pain can show up in anger, rebellion, low self-esteem, anxious, people-pleasing, and shutting down emotion. A lot of people don't know what people-pleasing is, but I was one of them. People-pleasing, shutting down emotionally. I was one of them. Anxious. I was one of them. Low self-esteem. I never had low self-esteem. I always thought I was on the top. Even when people used to bully me, okay, you can't hurt me by bullying me because we blowing each other home. That don't bother me. Okay, that's your opinion, and I'll go by my baby. Rebellion. I was rebellious, man. Angry. I have angry. And that pain I had towards my mother and my father led me to fighting. I was just an angry child, rebelling to my grandmother. I was, because I didn't know how to express it. And if I would have known how to do it or how to talk it out, I would have been healed from it as a child. So, of course, I'm sitting here like, what? How can I do it? I can't do it. And sometimes our parents don't even realize that they hurt us as kids. They grown, like, we grown now, and when we try to talk to them about it, they don't want to hear it. But do you realize what you did to us when we was kids? Do you? With me, it was to raise my brothers. I ain't have a childhood, It was me help my grandmother do what I had to, with her, what she had to do to help raise them. So it's a lot comes with it. And our parents like, okay, even with anxious, we have anxious. Why? We grew up in a household with it, and it was never talked about. So guess what? Now we got it, and we don't know how to talk about it. But it's okay to go get therapy. It's okay to go get a counselor. It's okay to go talk to someone, because there's time to heal. It's time to heal anxious in the name of Jesus. We will not have anxious again. We will not. And people pleasing, when you people please, you start people pleasing because you don't want people to feel how you felt as a child. So you will tend to do everything you can to make a person happy. Why? Be yourself. Don't try to change for nobody. Be yourself. Shutting down emotional. You know, when we sad and we just shut off, we want to cut everybody off. That's the enemy. The enemy wants you like the enemy don't want you to heal from anxious, people pleasing, and shutting down emotions. The enemy wants you stuck where you at. But what they say, them chains gotta be broken. You gotta break them changes, baby. Go listen to that song. Break every change. You gotta break them. Break them. Break that anxious off you. Break them people pleasing off you. Break the shedding emotion down off you. Break that depression off you. Break that lonely off you. Just break it. And you ask the Lord, you carry me through, God, because he is and he will. You know, you have to learn how to break stuff. Even when them shackles on your feet and you in church and you can't dance, break it so you can dance. Break it so you can glory to the God. Break it. Because we want to heal. We on a journey of healing this year. 2026 got something for us. And we on fire. And we going to let that flame blaze up on us, baby. We going to let it blaze. We going to let it blaze. You know, and in adulthood, unhealed childhood wounds often appear in relationships. Whew, that's a big one. Relationships, parenting, marriage, friendship, and decision making. We may repeat unhealthy patterns that we learn, disrespecting, struggling, you know, with trust, or feel stuck without knowing why. So relationship, right? You in this relationship. And I tell people all the time, I even had to tell my husband, when we first started off married, it was toxic. And I got 4 girls, and I had 4 girls and 1 boy at the time. And when I started seeing how my girls react, I said, nah, we got to change this. We cannot no longer argue in front of them no more. We can no longer fight in front of them no more, because they started picking it up. I want my girls to see how it feels for a woman to be loved. I want my sons to know how it is to be loved by a woman and how he should treat a woman. And my kids are old enough now. Once I broke that at the age of 1 and 2, and I had to heal because I grew up seeing my men's in the family fighting on women's and women's fighting on men's, I took upon it. And I started doing the same. My husband never hit me a day, and he's like, it was me doing the hitting. You know, it was me going to jail for it. But I had to heal from it. I had to break that. I had to break that generation curse. Because you know why? I wasn't healed from that. That's what I was taught. That's what I was seeing. So once I stopped putting my hands on my husband, Lord said, okay, now I got you. Now your kids can see how it feels to be loved by a mother and father, and how it feels to see a mother and a father love each other. So now, my son, when he get a girl, Valentine's Day come, birthdays, he's nothing but 9, but he say, Mama, I want somebody who like you, who love Dad. And even my kids see that. You know, I had a little misunderstanding with my daughter. And I was like, nah, this man and woman, you supposed to kiss man and woman, you know. But I had to set her straight so she can understand. Because, again, what she see is what she gonna go about. That's another thing we have to learn in parenting. What our kids see in the household is what our kids gonna seek when they get grown. That's what they're gonna go find, because they're gonna say, well, Mama went through it, why I can't? Daddy went through it, why I can't? No. We want to show them how it's properly to be loved, how it is to be healed with peace. So, of course, starting a household, them kids gonna be better when they get an adult. You know, even sometimes with women's, y'all, you know we can be bitter. You know we can have the best baby fathers in the world. But we were so used to seeing our mothers treat our fathers wrong, to where we tend to treat our children father wrong. It shouldn't be like that, because that's a blessing. You know, if you got a good baby father, that's a blessing. If you got a good baby mother, that's a blessing. We tend to see how our fathers do our mothers, so we tend to go out and do the mothers the same way. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. We got to heal from that. We got to heal to be real parents. It shouldn't be bitterness when it comes to baby mother and baby father. It shouldn't. Y'all should be able to have that co-parent together, to where that child know It's okay if mom got another boyfriend or another husband. It's okay if daddy got another wife or another girlfriend. It's okay for me to love my stepmother and my stepfather. It's okay. It shouldn't be no drama. It shouldn't be nothing, because you know why? When you put God above, that child gonna see that, and that child got two sides of family where she or he can attend to love and be treated right by. We gotta learn how to break that. Also, in parenting, when we yelling at our kids and we cussing them out, no. Take your time with them. I'm learning, though. I'm learning, y'all, because that's how I be. But I'm learning how to be patient with them, you know. And it takes time because every child are different. We have to learn how to heal because we used to our parents doing it. Nope. We got to heal from that. We got to break that generation curse. And then also, it comes from family too. Children can pick up a lot from family. And we sit there like, yeah, why is it like that? And I tend to say, man, look, my kids can't go around. Some people at school, they barely go around family, you know, because it ain't too many kids in our family. I'm probably the one with all the kids. My family call me the lady with all the kids. I make the party, y'all. I ain't lying. I make the party. You know. Also, healing matters because it breaks generation cycles. It teaches emotional awareness and, you know, self-worth. It frees us from shame and silence. It's allowed healing relationships that we tend to need to go through. It restores identity, confidence, and peace. Healing is not about blaming the past. It's about choosing freedom in the present, you know. No matter your age, it is never too late to heal from what you need to be healing from. You know, it's time to break them changes. It's time to go, you know, go to God and say, I forgive. It's time for me to apologize to people. It's time for me to heal people. It's time to spark that fire of healing. That's what we intend to do. It's time. It's time to break it, y'all. It is. I love y'all, and I'm glad that y'all watch. I hope that this right here help y'all understand, you know, and even go to God and just heal, because it's time. We don't need to be burdened and feeling down no more because we haven't healed. It's time to pour out, even with the youth, you know. Go out and help some youth kids who need healing. Go out and speak word into them, you know. But mostly get on your knees and give it to God, because God is not gonna let us down. God is not gonna let us be lonely. I just want to say I love y'all. Say it's something about the name of God.